Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of 10 Questions in About 10 Minutes. And today we have a guy that I met at a convention a couple of years ago. He runs a great company. We just kind of hit it off. And this year we were at another convention. We were next to each other for 2.5 days straight. And just wanted to share what he does with everybody out there. So, Braedon Yardley of Yardley Sports, say hi to everybody.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me on, Tim.
Nice. Where are you talking to us from, Braedon?
I am talking to you from my garage in St. George, Utah.
St. George, Utah, your garage. So
Yeah,
your garage is also your workshop, if I understand
correct. Yeah,
correctly.
that's right. Yep.
You mind turning the phone around and showing everybody what you're working with there, if you don't mind?
Yeah. Let's do a scan here.
Yeah, let's have a quick look.
So, yeah, this is a lace cutter here. And then I got my inventory. I
Yep.
got my workbench over here. I'm making some glove clips over here and doing some other leather work. And then there's like a bunch of leather supplies. And if I turn this all the way around, then you would see my sewing machine and a couple other, different machines here
Nice.
that I
And you
use
you
for
had that
making
sewing machine
gloves.
with you at ABCA. No, not at ABCA. Yeah?
Mm. I
It,
did last year.
right.
And then at the Las Vegas convention, I had it.
Sure. And you ended up making a custom glove that you sent to Dubai, if I'm not mistaken. Is
Yeah,
that
that's right. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that had to be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, I was very excited. I met this guy that coaches baseball there, James, and I was holding on to this glove to give it away at the end of the show. And I was like, man, that would be cool to have a glove over there. So I gave it to this guy and he sent me a picture. And so I got to see it with like the Flight Emirates sign in the back. And that was totally awesome.
I love it. I love it. And one of the things you and I really connected on at the convention was we spent some downtime talking about punk rock. And our
Yes, we
love
did.
for maybe a different type of music than our partner loves. And
Yeah.
so you've got a playlist, you're heading on the road.
Yeah.
Give us 3 songs that are gonna be on that playlist.
Wow, that's a great question. Okay, I'll go with something modern, then something from like high school and something old school.
All right?
So on my way home from work today, I listened to Smashing Pumpkins 1979 and was just totally jamming to that song. So I would throw that on there.
Love it.
My second one would be from my high school years. So probably something from Yellow Card. So I
All
would
right. All
probably
right.
let's go with just their biggest hit, Ocean Avenue. That's not
Ocean
my
Avenue.
favorite song, but it's one that people might resonate with. And then more modern, I really love the new Turnstile album. So
Oh,
Light Design is my favorite song on their newest album. So I'd throw Light Design on there.
so good. I
Yeah.
absolutely am with you on all 3 of those choices, but that Turnstile album, if you are not a fan or don't know about Turnstile, wow, you're missing out.
Yeah.
Glow On is
Totally.
a great intro album to the scene,
Hmm.
and then their new album, like you said, Light Design is a fantastic track. Great live show.
Oh yeah, the best.
All right. Yeah, no, it was fun to sit down, when we had a little bit of downtime and just kind of, relive a couple of shows that, bands we had seen in common, some different bands that we hadn't seen together, and then we kinda talk about our love of, Jawbreaker and what
Yeah.
they're doing. It's really cool to see what the drummer of Jawbreaker's doing, auctioning off some of his cracked men's adult league bats to be
Yep,
able to buy some equipment for the inmates at San Quentin because he actually goes and plays baseball
that's
against,
amazing.
those inmates. What did you think when you read that article about what he does?
Well,
Or
I
about the
thought it
San
was
Quentin Giants in general?
yeah, I think well, I was introduced to this story from Dave at Pelican Bat Wax, and he
Shout
just
out
told me
shout out
about
Pelican Bat Wax, another
yeah,
NorCal, great dude,
yes.
Dave.
Mhm. Yep, one of my favorites, very big DIYer, but I just thought it was cool. I love the idea of blending like sports with music. And so to have the drummer of Jawbreaker be so active in the baseball community, it helps to blend those lines. It also makes me feel a little more normal that like I love all this punk rock music and I love baseball. And to know that there's people like you and Dave and the drummer from Jawbreaker doing stuff is really cool. So I love when those lines merge. Also, Riley Breckenridge from Thrice, which is one of my other favorite bands. He's done a lot in the baseball sphere and runs a brand called Classic Grit. And so I love when those lines merge. And definitely anybody that's out trying to promote good in the baseball world, I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah, no, I love when 2 things I love come together, right? And
Mhm.
especially, like you said, music and baseball, and then to have a band that I like, right? Like a Jawbreaker or
Mhm.
even a Thrice that is out there actively promoting the game and really trying to do some good in the world. I think,
Mhm.
yeah, those guys are inmates in San Quentin, but, they're not all headed down. Some of them are trying to be better, right? And
Yeah.
it's a privilege to get to play on the San Quentin Giants, and they're not just giving guys who aren't on good behavior a metal bat to go out in the yard and swing it with strangers around. So
Yeah.
it does excite me to see that. So if you haven't heard about them, Google San Quentin Giants. There's an article in the New York Times a couple of weeks ago, and just take a look at what they do. They're not perfect people, but those are guys that are trying to do something better, and check them out. So let's talk a
Yep.
little bit about your love of the glove. You you own a company, Yardley Gloves or Yardley Sports, right? And
Yep.
and you make gloves. Like we said earlier, watched you make a catcher's glove during the trade show we were at, and just get a chance to see what you do with breaking in gloves, with the relays, all those kind of things that a glove maker does. What would you say your favorite part of the glove making process is?
I love the shaping part of it. So it's kind of the final part. It's once it's all done, but you can really start to manipulate the glove how you want it to perform. So you can really almost take any glove with the exceptions of some specific type patterns and you can really mold it to your hand and get it to perform how you want to. And so the break in part, like you mentioned, and the shaping part of that process is really rewarding. It's something like I don't know a lot about different models or things that I can really speak intelligently to, but like when I see a glove with a good shape, like I can pick it out like that. And so the shape of gloves really mean a lot to me. And it's something I think I've developed an eye for over time. And just kind of like a last anecdote to that, when I've been over in factories working on gloves, when I've been walking through and looking at the gloves on the assembly line, I've turned to my friends from Korea and I've said, like, good shape. And that's a language we can both speak. So they'll look at me and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, good shape." And so we laugh about that, and we send messages back and forth. Like with my friends from Korea that are helping me with gloves, we always send those like good shape messages back and forth. So it's pretty cool.
That the language that needs no translator, right, is
Right.
baseball, right? A
Exactly.
strike is a strike, and
Yeah. You're absolutely
universal
right.
signal for an out, right? It sounds like in the glove world that good shape needs no translator.
Yeah, good shape.
No, that's awesome. And so as a glove maker, as a glove designer,
Mhm.
what would you say your favorite shape, size, style
Huh.
of glove is?
Well, I love the 11.5-inch pattern because I think that's the most universal size you see, especially with kids. And that's who I primarily focus on creating gloves for. So I love just a traditional 11.5 web glove, and I like something that has a really open palm. So a lot of fielding surface to field a ground ball or to catch. I don't like closed or rolled over gloves, so the wider it is, the more I like it. So like this is a glove I had lying here. You can tell it's wide. It's got a big palm, big surface, and as we like to say, good shape. So that's what I look for, and really that's kind of where my favorite interests lie.
I love it. A glove you can kind of use anywhere, right? And you can
Right.
take care of
Yep.
it. It's going to last you. So before we jump into, I believe that's one of your new lines of gloves that you're holding. Is that right?
Yes.
Is
Yep.
that
Yeah.
is that one of the new
The
ones? We'll talk about that
Ibex.
in a minute, but
Yep.
let's talk about parents, for coaches, for kids out there, for men, women out
Mm.
there.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about how you can take care of your glove
Mhm.
throughout the course of just, season starts tomorrow. What should you be doing today? And what should you do at the end of the season, throughout the season, so that your, 250 to $600 glove will last you a lifetime?
Right. There's probably a lot of different directions I could take this with, taking care of your glove with conditioner and cleaning it. I'll just give 2 quick, simple solutions to make sure your glove lasts. One is if you're taking it out and playing and it gets dirty, just get a clean, like, microfiber towel and just wipe the dirt off of it. That way, you're not allowing that dirt and grime to build up on your glove, and that's something everybody has lying around, just a cloth that they can wipe the dirt off their glove. And then the second thing, which I think is also super important, is just there's a lot of work and a lot of effort that go into gloves. The people that make them, the people that sell them, you yourself put in work so that that glove becomes your glove. So having respect for your glove and the way that you store it and the way that you set it down when you come off the diamond is super important. So like if this were my glove and I was coming off the field and I was setting it on the bench, I would just set it down with the pocket open so that way it doesn't start to get a bad shape. I would never throw my glove. I would treat it as if I wanted that glove to be my friend, to help me out. I feel like the more you take care of your glove, the more it'll take care of you. So set it down nicely. And then when you come home from a tournament, just take it out, set it on your bedstand. If you're weird, like a lot of glove guys, you probably do have a glove on your glove stand. So just add it to the collection, but store it outside your bag and just make sure that it doesn't lose its shape because that's going to help you perform the best too.
I love it. That's some great advice. I think you said it best, right? You take care of it, and it will take care of you. And it
Yes.
again, you get a Yardley glove, you get any glove of the quality that Yardley is, and it should last you a lifetime.
Yeah.
It's going to need to be relaced. It may need some love, right?
Mhm.
But it should last you a lifetime if you take care of it. So I know at the convention last week you mentioned you have a new line coming out. Was it a
Mhm.
whole new line, a new style? You
Yeah.
you want to show us what you got and kind of talk us through
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, thanks. So, yeah, I'm gonna grab this glove right here. So this glove, it's called the Ibex. So I got the name for it because I saw this really cool YouTube video of these goats that climb this dam, and they do it so that they can get salt from the dam. It's, like, essential for their survival, but they walk up like a straight vertical face, and they get the salt so that they can survive, and I was like, "That is, like, the coolest thing I've ever seen." And then I heard that they called them the Ibex, which is a goat, and I thought, "Wow, that sounds really nice. Ibex, that sounds like a cool name for a glove." And I think anything that sounds like it could be on Star Wars is cool, and Ibex sounds like it could be on Star Wars, like some
Sure.
sort of like a vehicle or something. So anyways, I that's where I got the name of it, but the shape again is what I've kind of described earlier. It's super important, and I really tried to blend what I've learned going overseas to Japan and to Korea and immersing myself in their baseball gloves and their culture to find a good in between their patterns and a US style pattern was really what I was after with this glove. So it's got that good wide shape, like I've talked about. It's got a mid heel lace here that helps kind of keep some form and structure through the heel of the glove. And then just a design feature that also helps solve a problem is the shape of the wrist strap. So in Asia, they have a lot of crazy cool wrist straps. And I thought, man, I sure like the way those look. But I also think that every piece of the glove should be functional. So this actually helps reduce some collapsing and structure through the back of the hand, but it's also the shape of an ibex horn. So on the glove, it says around the horn, and this is actually a shape that I took off a Google image and traced and then put on the hand strap.
I love
So
that, man. I love
yeah,
that. That's awesome. And I'm guessing that is an 11.5 inch iWeb.
yes.
One of your
Hmm.
favorites, right? That is
Yeah, that's just tried and true models. So
I
and
love it.
size.
Well, I really appreciate you, Brandon. It was great getting to know you, learn about Yardley and what you do. Tell the people where they can find you, where they can find you on Instagram, where they can buy Yardley gloves, how they can reach you. Tell them.
Sure. You can find me on socials at Yardley Sports. My website's yardleysports.com. Please feel free to contact me through there. Send me messages. I try to be active in the community and answer people's questions. So you can find me on the road. I try to hit the road a little bit with my traveling trailer. It's kind of like a mobile shop. So that's a good way to get a glove on your hand and see what they feel like if you can catch me there. And I know we're wrapping up, but I do want to just take a moment too, and I want to just say thanks to Tim and his wife Amy because in the baseball world, it's hard to meet really good, genuine people, and I feel like your company and you and your wife really embrace that, like, kind spirit that I hope permeates throughout the baseball world. So you guys are awesome, and I'm
Well, we
just
appreciate that,
yeah, I
Braden.
wanted to take a minute to tell you that. I really appreciated the friendship
Thank you.
we struck up and, everything you do.
I really appreciate that, and I think one of the things Amy and I always talk about is we like to deal with good athletes, right? Good makers like
Mhm.
yourself who are better people, and I think you also fit that mold, which is one of the reasons we're having this conversation. And Braden Yardley, yardleysports.com, Yardley Sports on Instagram, one of the nicest boutique glove makers you will find in the country, and he makes a fantastic product. So if you're looking for a new glove, want some advice on what kind of glove you need, and need relacing, and I know he does break-in services as well if you're in Southern Utah or see him on the road. But yardleysports.com, check him out. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you.